Hey everybody, this is Jason. So I'm getting back onto my driveway retaining wall project. And I've already kind of skimmed one railroad tie here. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking about an inch off of each side, give or take. Final thickness is going to be 6 inches. These are actually going to be posts, so upright posts for kind of a covered area where we can put in our smoker and our table and chairs and stuff like that. So just thought I'd bring you along. I've already got this one done. We'll see how the wind cooperates, because this is railroad ties, so it's just full of creosote, and the wind right now, at times it's picking up and it's coming right back at me. So I'll see how many I need 6 total. I got 1 done, so I got 5 more on the tractor. I'm going to slide them over into the skid loader as I do them, and hopefully I can take them back up and get them set in place. But we'll see. I'm not going to be choking on that creosote filled dust. So if we have to, we'll pivot and we'll go and get the site prep done. So I just thought I'd bring you along. Let's get this done. So not everybody likes railroad ties, but they're cheap and you can get a lot done in a short period of time. And I like the look after you take off that top 3/4 inch to 1 inch. I really think it's just pretty. A lot of railroad ties are made out of black locust. Some are made out of oak. Every now and then I've seen some that are made out of like a fir. But once they're done and they've been used and stuff, it's really hard for me, at least, to tell what species. I mean, this railroad tie is. Either way, it's full of creosote and it's super heavy. They're going to make good posts. Let's get another one on here. So I like to do the face that's going to be seen the most first, just because I can play with the other side. You know, if I only need a 1/2 inch or whatever, fine. But I want to get this top side that's going to be within the outdoor kitchen, I guess, area, and just make that look really nice like the other one. But it's got to go that way. All right, perfect. We're having kind of a, I guess, springtime winter blast. This morning I woke up, it was like 28. I don't know where that came from. I guess I should check the weather from now, weather forecast. But yeah, it's a little clipper coming down, northwest wind. Feels pretty good. I mean, it's probably about 45 right now, so it did warm up a bit. Now this cut will be right at 6 inches. All right. I can kind of time it. There's been gusts of wind and then it goes away. Like right now there's a gust, so probably not hearing me very well, but so let's keep at it. And sometimes they have a little bit of twist too, so milling them up like this takes that twist out. It is hard on your blade though, I will tell you that. Perfect. I should come down more. All right, I don't know if you could see that, but I hit a few rocks, sparks went flying. As soon as you dull that blade, it's either gonna ride or dip or both, and that's what's happening. So I guess I'm gonna get my 3 for today. I obviously need 3 more, but I'll have to either sharpen this blade or get some new blades. So let's head up to the job site and we'll get to working up there. So I have mentioned this in my other videos, but just to kind of, in case somebody's watching that doesn't normally watch, I started this 2 years ago, and we were kind of debating whether or not we wanted a carport here. And of course I had to bring in some more dirt, and I did bring in some. I need more. That'll be part of this whole project. But I'd like to get this finished up. And as you can see, you know, a lot of stuff is growing in, it died off, so on and so forth. But what we want here is to come out 10 feet and then come this way 20 feet, and that'll be kind of like our outdoor kitchen area. And so these 3 posts, they're going to be this back wall, and then I'll mill up another 3 posts. I don't know, it's going to come, one will be on the inside of the retaining wall, and then one kind of in the middle, and then one about where I'm standing. So that's the plan. I'm going to go ahead and get these posts set. I'm going to secure them to the wall, of course backfill them and stuff. They'll be about 4 feet in the ground, and I've got these 12-inch Simpson ties. I'm not sure exact word, but they're huge screws, and so I'm going to go through the back of those posts into the wall and secure those. That should do it. So yeah, let me get you set up here, and we're going to dig out this area first and go from there. All right, I got that one pretty much plumbed up. I got to go get those spikes, start securing it from the bottom. So I'll bring you back. We got those. So right about a 90 or 39 1/4. I can't come off the concrete so it slopes. So, get my general idea of where we need to be. So when I put this wall in here, I laid down some crusher run, or whatever you call it in your part of the country, but it's essentially a gravel base. Compacted it really well. Went back a couple feet, and so all I'm doing is removing the dirt that washed down over the last couple years. As soon as I hit that gravel, I was within about a half an inch of the other one, so it turned out pretty good. All right, let's cut another tie down. Okay, you get to watch me manhandle a railroad tie up here. We got to cut it down to 6 foot. Not sure what those weigh, but I would guess at least 200 pounds. Now you can use pencil on this, and it shows up pretty good. I have these wax markers. They're yellow. Shows up even better. Especially when you're chainsawing. Sawdust kind of covers up the gray lead real easily. And I just square it on 3 different sides. I'm going to secure the bottom, then I've got to put a couple shims up here similar to that, and I'll probably put like some trim around there to finish it off, but that should work. Let's get some tools here. Before I do that, I want to try to find a 10-12 foot long fairly straight 2x so I can level the top there. These should be real close, but just due diligence. I'll be right back. Well, I want to check that. Okay, so I got all my posts installed, and I lined the back with some sort of liner. I had a bunch of fabric or landscape fabric already up there, so I used that where I could, and then I just patched a couple here holes here and there with some tie back or house wrap, whatever. So that takes care of the north side here. Close as I could get. I gotta let some of this settle, probably come in with some more backfill, topsoil, because it's pretty squishy in there. Filling some pretty good voids, so. But that'll do for now. And throwing some grass seed while it's moist. Just spring's just kicking off here, so. All right, now, so this is the north wall, and we're going to have some beams on here, and they'll go out 10, 12 feet. That'll be kind of our outdoor area. Now over here, because this would be the east wall, I'm going to put one more post in here, so I got to hold off on filling this in. And we're getting rid of that thing. Tired of that company. So this is a pretty big void. I do got a good hump there, but I don't want to mess with it too much. So I'm just probably going to, line it up with that plane up there. So just this hump here. But when I built this wall over here, I built it real close. So all this dirt in here, that'll be more than enough to fill that small void. So I may have enough with this, and then kind of taking out that hump there to fill this in. First thing first, I got to sharpen a sawmill blade so I can make one more post. Well, actually 3 more posts. I'm going to have 2 out here. But for today, that's a wrap. Boy, I was going to do this with my tractor because my skid loader was at my other property, but there's just no replacement for this kind of work. Skid steer, skid loader, whatever. I mean, a tracked skid loader would have been ideal for this property, but my other property, I would have been, there's just rocks everywhere, so I would have been throwing tracks all the time, and that thing worked like a charm down there. So okay, well, I'll bring you all back when we get to this side. Take care.